Hello and welcome to Zero Cool Gaming and today's anime review. Today I'm going to be reviewing an anime called Air Gear. Air Gear is a science fiction set in the near future. I guess it's a excuse me. I guess you could call this a gang anime. It would seem that Japan has many of the same problems that we do here in America with their youth gang problem in the cities. While I truly think that the gang problems we have here in the U.S. are much more severe as far as the level of violence that these gangs will rise to. And don't get me wrong, it's not like, Japanese gangs aren't violent. They absolutely are. I just don't think that they've quite risen to the level of violence that they have here in the States. And that's just my personal opinion. Based on just what I've seen over the years. So, this is an anime that romanticizes gang life. Truly. And that's not a good thing. For lots of reasons. I've never really liked gang shows or mafia shows or anything like that. Because I don't think it's right to romanticize a criminal lifestyle as if it's something good or something that you should want to look into and become part of. Period. But this show does exactly that. It tries to, and succeeds in, romanticizing gang lifestyle and the criminal behaviors revolving around that. That's not why I like the show. Truly. Why I like the show is because of its how it depicts the female nature of the women who are raising this child. It is obvious through the writing that these women have spent their lives dating the bad boys. Because, well, they're good looking. None of them would commit to any of them. But it didn't stop them from dating them. At all. Because they, like most women in Japan, think they're different. And their magic box is going to get that man to commit. Yeah, they're dating, what would you call that? The dating environment in Japan is actually a little worse than it is here in the States. There are more men going their own way in Japan. And I don't know what they call it, but I'm sure they have a name for it in that respect than what you see here in the States. I mean, here in the States, it's about 50% of men. And I expect over the next 10 to 20 years for that to rise to about 75 to 80% of men, like it is in Japan today. The marriage statistics in Japan are already in the single digits. And that's women's fault. Period. The women there were given the right to choose, and they chose to sleep with the top 10% of men. They have no problem sleeping with the same man that 8 other women around them have already slept with. In fact, they prefer that, obviously, because they keep choosing it over and over and over again. And then when those men no longer want them because they're, 35 plus and no longer attractive, well, all men are trash, obviously, because the men they chose to date were trash. Makes sense, right? And this show actually points that out. These women who choose to date trash men that I am sure are very good looking, because of course they are. That's what women go for. It's all based on your looks, big guys. And it's not just the looks, it's also based on how you treat them. If you treat them like the trash they are, they want you even more. So hey, they choose men that are good looking and will treat them like trash. Because that's all they've ever known. And that's what they expect. And they truly think that they can change you. Because of course they do. It's just more lies that they tell themselves to make themselves feel better about the disgusting behavior they're engaging in. And I don't think they'll ever be willing to admit any of that. Truly. But getting back to Air Gear, these women had a young boy that they were raising. And rather than raising him to be better than the trash they dated, they raised him to be exactly like the trash men that they hate so much. Excellent example of female nature. Truly. And when he turns out to be the same type of trash man that they hate so much, of course they try to change his behavior and alter his path, shall we call it. Of course it doesn't work, because they've spent too many years teaching him to be exactly what he was becoming. Unless you have an example of a better man in your life, ladies, you are not going to teach your children to be any better than the trash you dated. Period. And this show points that fact out in a very subversive manner. And what I mean by that is that it's not thrown in your face that that's what they've done. But it is shown through the actions of these women and through the actions done by the child as he grows up, that that is exactly what they turned him into. A carbon copy of the trash men that they dated and supposedly hated throughout their entire lives. It's just a reality that they don't want to admit to, because they want to believe that they're virtuous and doing their best and, all these other lies. And that's what they are. They're blatant, outright lies that women tell themselves to feel better about their disgusting behaviors. You give women a choice, they are going to choose to sleep with the top 10% of men every time. And the rest of men, well, they're invisible. They don't exist as far as these women are concerned. Truly. Because when they see them on the apps or whatever, they just swipe left. Oh my God, that's ugly. Oh my God, who's this guy? He doesn't have any game. That's just disgusting. Learn to be better with women. These women are disgusting. The only thing they want is a guy who's going to treat them like crap, looks good, and makes them feel good in bed. And unfortunately, They keep telling themselves that their magic box is going to change them and they're going to commit to them one day and they'll become a good man. Absolute insanity. But that's what we get to deal with today. Women who are absolutely insane and will never admit to any of their faults because they're never held accountable for any of their actions. Anyway, that's my rant for the day, and I hope you enjoy the rest of yours.